Hello, I'm Mike Harding, and today I'm going to be speaking about the 5 love languages and their importance. I'm going to start by asking the question of what do you know about the 5 love languages? Whether you know a lot or a little bit, I'm going to get into a brief overview, and we're going to keep it simple. Knowing these love languages will and possibly could change your perception of your own relationship. This is going to be very important even if you're not dating. This will help you, these love languages will help prove your own self-worth to yourself, and you're going to see that you're going to have some higher expectations after reading about these love languages and learning about them. The reason why I'm qualified to speak on behalf of this topic is because I've been in a relationship for 4 years now. We're going to get into a brief overview of what the 5 love languages are and what they mean, how to speak your partner's love language effectively, as well as how to find your own love language. So now that we've kind of looked at the introduction here, we're going to get into a brief overview and get into really what these love languages are and what they mean. The first one, which is words of affirmation, that's the first love language, is very important because you're verbally reinforcing your partner with kind words and maybe something that you notice that you really particularly like. For example, if I saw my girlfriend is working really hard on something, I'm going to tell her, hey, I've noticed you've been working really hard at school, or I've noticed you've been working really hard at work, and it shows, that you're really dedicated. I really admire you about that. Even though it's so short, it's very sweet, and your partner, if that's their primary love language, they're gonna, see that, and they're gonna say, "Oh my gosh, thank you so much," and they're gonna feel loved that way. Getting into the second love language, which is quality time. It's very simple. It's exactly what it sounds like. This may be a little bit more difficult if you're overseas, whether you've deployed or whether you're across the country just because you're in a long distance relationship at school or whatnot. It's going to be really important to know that quality time, if that's their primary love language, that you're spending time with them, that you're going on dates, whatever that may be, as long as you're together, we call it quality time. The third love language, which is gift giving, very important in itself. Now this it's exactly what it sounds like. You're giving a person, could be a physical gift, doesn't have to be physical, although it could be very expensive, could be very cheap, but just know that if this is their primary love language, you're going to be doing this for the duration of your relationship. So try not to outdo yourself. Don't be buying Mercedes-Benz or Lamborghinis. Getting into the fourth love language, which is acts of service. For someone like me, my girlfriend and I currently don't live at home together. I live at home alone, and an act of service for me, or an act of service, would be filling up her vehicle or loading her groceries into the car. Simple stuff like that. Now, for a married couple or a couple that lives together, that could be, fixing a drain pipe, something along those lines. The fifth love language is physical touch, and that could be holding hands, giving each other hugs, just something simple like that. So now that we've kind of gotten into a brief overview, if you wanted to read into some more in-depth analysis, there's a book out there called The 5 Love Languages, written in 2015 by Gary Chapman. Strongly recommend it. Goes into a lot more depth of the love languages, if you're looking to get into that. So now that we know the basis of what they are, let's get into how we can effectively communicate with our partner. And I'm going to start with a quote from a website written last year. It's a life coaching and therapy website that says, have a talk with your partner about what they need to feel loved. What speaks to them? How do they appreciate love being expressed? When you find out what their love languages are, you'll have a clearer path to effective communication. So this is simple. Just have that conversation with them, see what really makes them happy. So it gives you a starting point. It allows you to make your partner happy. So our own love languages also may be completely different than theirs. So don't just think just because yours is physical touch that your partner's is going to be physical touch as well. It could be words of affirmation. They may speak more than one language. So just keep an open mind. Don't assume, maybe have them take a quiz. And that's actually going to be in the description. Is going to be a quiz for what your love language might be. There's going to be a couples one, and there's also one that's for singles. So now let's get into how we can understand our own love language. So I'm going to start with another quote again from an article titled What Exactly Are the 5 Love Languages, written in 2020, just recently. There's a section that tells us how we can find our own love language. So it's sent, and quote, It centers around thinking about what you have appreciated the most when your current or past partners try to do something nice for you. So this is simple. This is asking us what we've appreciated the most in the past, what makes you happiest. So very simple. Ask yourself, go through these 5 love languages and see which one you really value. And you can do that, like I said, by taking a quiz. So that's one of the simplest ways. Just ask yourself this question and you'll know which one. So in summary, now that we have been enlightened on the 5 love languages, let's go put it to the test. So we went over the 5 love languages. We went over their definitions. We went over how to effectively communicate with our partner on their love language, as well as how to find out what our own love language is, which is just as important. Lastly, I'll leave you with a quote by Reese Witherspoon, where she famously stated, "You'll always gain by giving love." Remember to love those around you unconditionally, forgive but do not forget, and above all else, never stop loving. Thank you very much.